Hi dear viewers. Today I'm joining a conversation with author Sukhvinder Kaur, the author of There is Light at the End of the Tunnel of Loneliness. It's quite a pleasure really to have Sukhvinder on the show today. Welcome on the show, Sukhvinder.
Hello there, Peter. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure really. Very great, quite lovely. I mean, it's been some while we're trying to set this up. I'm excited we're finally here to have a lovely conversation around your book. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So, Sukhvinder, I need to first say that I was taken aback by your book's description and the name of There is Light at the End of the Tunnel of Loneliness. And I would like you to tell us how the book came about. What inspired you to write There is Light at the End of the Tunnel of Loneliness? And how did you come with this title even for a book?
Yeah, okay. The reason I wrote this book was it's a self-help book. So what I mean by
Mm,
self-help book is for book for everybody who can pick it up and find things that they can actually try and use and for themselves. So the book will be it's a self-help book for every
mm,
single person. And the reason I wrote this book on the title, There's Light at the End of the Tunnel of Loneliness, we all as a human beings at a stage we go through a period of in our journey we live on the same earth, everybody lives in the same world, and we're all in the one community society, but where
mm,
again our own journey is our individual journey. So when I say our individual journey, we go through loneliness in a different experience, in a different stage of in our life, in our period of our journey of us own through challenges.
mm,
So I had a lovely childhood. My parents are lovely parents and brought me up very, very beautiful. In my period when I was married,
yeah.
I had my marriage breakdown in my adult life, and that's when I experienced loneliness myself.
Mm,
Then I came out of my comfort zone, and then I started to talk to other people in my work colleagues at the workplace, in my community, just to find a feel about, how I was feeling. Is anybody out there feeling the same, or they're feeling have they experienced themselves?
mm,
Um, yeah, so I actually, from my own experience, combating this loneliness, managed to find the services and the skills I found to help me combat this loneliness, and I'm living a happy life. I wanted to, and also like when I was talking to other people and all the other picking up all these researches,
mm,
um, so then I thought to myself, well, these people, I found the help to support myself. Now,
mm,
all that time I've been speaking to loads and loads of people and for all walks of life, then I thought these people need help as well.
mm.
So I've actually written this book, come about what's happened, what's actually helped me to manage my loneliness. I wanted to share those things with other people to help them to support those people as well.
Mm,
And this lighter, the lighter in the tunnel of the title came about because every time I believe
mm,
that there's any situations or any circumstances we go through in our life, in our journey,
yeah.
uh, we actually born with this creation of universe created with hope and light
Mm,
always. If we
absolutely.
as human beings, if we didn't have those two, light and hope, I don't think a human being would actually go for a life, even it's up
Mm,
and down, a good or bad life. So with the hope and light, I believe and trust there is light and hope, but we have to find that belief inside us to bring it out,
mm.
to go through those circumstances, challenges when we go through those loneliness and isolation.
Oh, well, I need to say that I was intrigued while I read through the description part of the book on Amazon, and hearing you talk about it now sounds to me to be quite pulling because I myself am a huge lover of works that has to do with the themes of hope, works that has to do with the themes of encouragement, bringing people light in their most dejected state, in their most oppressed, in their most downtrodden state, in their most, dejected and depressive state. And, this is something that quite a lot of people actually need. I mean, so many people are going through a lot. You cannot see it even through the smiling face, but it's like the smile is a marks that hold in that so many things we have in our heart, and we are hoping to God for a solution for. So when it comes to hope, it's something that I love wholeheartedly. Something that I love wholeheartedly. Thank you so much for writing a book in this particular theme itself.
Oh, you're most welcome. I'm a people's person,
Mm,
and I my passion is to help and support where I can and how I can in a
yeah,
meaningful way. And this book, because I felt that loneliness is actually a killer. We feel
yeah,
that when we go through stages of illness or physically or mentally, emotionally, challenges. But we find that's a killer. But no, because those things that we can find things, medication and through other stuff as well to manage those symptoms as well.
mm,
But loneliness is no diagnosis with that. And no, it's a killer and it can actually in the long term and a short term and it can actually end with losing a life as well.
mm. That's good. Thank you so much for sharing. And for the sake of readers who haven't read the book yet, and I know that we've mentioned even this in the first question, and of course, without giving much information away, could we have a sneak of what you had expect in terms of themes and subject lines, picking up there is light at the end of the tunnel of loneliness?
Yeah, so I'm sharing all the things that helped me,
Yeah.
so that other people can have a happy life as well. So when this means that when people are feeling lonely, when they use these specific skills and strategies, they can understand their feelings of loneliness and they find clear ways to make their own lives more content and peaceful.
Wow.
I've included top tips, helpful support, inspiring resources that anyone who is experiencing loneliness can find the peace of mind
Yeah.
and the answers they need to feel confident and connected.
Yeah, I love your take on that. That was quite amazing. Thank you. Before I proceed, I'd like you to show the book to the camera again, just so we see what it looks like. Beautiful cover you've got even in there.
Thank you very much.
I think there's a message to the cover in there. Someone walking on something that looks like a real tray, and there's a light over there shining on its part. Yeah, would you like to talk about the making of the cover briefly?
Yes, so the cover I actually, I credited myself,
Wow.
because I believe that when I wrote the title, there is light
Yeah.
in the tunnel of light. There is light, and then when I said before, we just have to find that belief and the hope inside us to bring that light outside. So I wanted to create the a person's ourselves standing on that tunnel and when they're
Mm,
walking and the light is shining already through the tunnel, and there's hope as well when it's all
mm,
shining as well. Because when you're walking through that tunnel, you could feel and you could see the hope as well. Because that's when you carry on walking towards that light.
mm. Wow. Beautiful one, well illustrated, well explained. Thank you. Thank you. And I'd also like to ask you, why do you choose to write under the themes of hope and loneliness? Is that something that particularly intrigued you to write in these subject lines in this particular genre? I just wanted to know, I'm just curious.
My hope is that my story reaches who may feeling lonely or struggling to find their way. I
Mm,
wanted to let them know you're not alone. And
yeah.
with my personal experience and the hope my words can help someone feel heard and understood. Feeling lonely can be challenging and isolating experience, and it's important to remember that there are people who care about you and want to
Mm,
help, whether that is talking to a family member or friend of yourself, member, that you join a support group, or even actually seeking the professional help by a counselor. There are resources available to help you manage these feeling loneliness.
yeah.
There is no shame in seeking support or help. We all
Not
go
all.
through challenges and times, and it's okay to reach out for help when needed. And remember that you are valid and important, and your experience and feelings are valid. And
Mm.
always remember that you are not alone.
I love that. One of the impressive things I've got to learn over the years is do not be afraid to ask for help. Do not be afraid to voice out if you need anything. And you can never imagine how many number of people would come up to your case, to your aid, if you voice out about a particular thing. It's just something we need to do. Just that most people like to stay hidden, secluded to themselves, drawing back, withdraw from quite a lot of things. And like, oh no, I don't want so many people to hear. And you over there dying in silence. Do not ever be afraid of asking for help. I love that
Mhm.
statement from you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And apart from there is light at the end of the tunnel of loneliness, do you have any other works you've authored or say currently working on?
Um, well, I find that with my own experience and talking to people all walks of life, the experience of I gained a deeper understanding of empathy for the understanding of loneliness of others. I study counselling as well, and I volunteer work as well for mental health charities as well. I'm a befriend as well. I'm awarded for that. I contributed to the service and helping their clients as well. So all that, gave me a really deep understanding of the experience what other people are going through when they're going through the loneliness. So yeah.
Love that. Thanks for sharing. And again, I wanted to talk a bit now. I'd like us to talk a bit about inspirations and ideas, how it came to be. Because I've always been fascinated about how authors, especially writers like yourself, craft long sentences and bring words together in a way that, their book keep transitioning from one page to the next to another and eventually a book being formed. And this always leaves me thinking, how did they got the idea to write these things? And now as far as writing is concerned, I'd like to ask you, how do you get the inspirations and ideas to write your books? Where do they come from?
I'm a people's person. I'm a really passionate person, and I've got a lot of empathy as well. And I understand,
Mm,
people easily confide in me as well. They trust me so easily, and I understand as well, and I can feel I know what pain is like. I feel, even though pain is pain, even we go through a pain in a different feeling and a thought
mm,
in ourselves and the behavior we contribute to that. But
yeah.
pain is pain. I know what pain is. So when you feel that you know what pain is, you can understand other people as well. And my
Absolutely.
ideas coming from my own experience, going through challenges, through loneliness as well,
Mm,
and also understanding the deeper understanding for other people what they're going through as well, and all these ideas, and also through my psychology, studying regarding with the mind as well, how it works, what triggers are there negative and the positive triggers through the mind as well when we actually contribute to our feelings, and how a human being actually contribute to the behavior, you know and all that, my volunteer work as well. So all that, the community, talking to all walks of life of people,
mm,
in the community. So all that putting together, and that's where I've actually picked up all my ideas and inspiring to me to, but this is like, is mental health, but mental health is a loads of things connected with mental health, and
mm,
emotions as well, and the feelings we go through as well individually.
mm,
So loneliness, not a lot of people I found, not in our society, walks of life,
mm,
everywhere you go. It's not a lot of talk about loneliness. People, we haven't ever spoken about a lot of it. There's still a stigma about that as well, loneliness.
mm,
Why? There's a lot of shame with that, a lot of guilt with that, a lot of blame going through that, and fear as well, the trust as well, or being judged as well. If I say this or I speak to this person, finding the right people and resources and organization activities as well, you know, to combat what you're feeling and what help support you need. So all these ideas expiring and all the research I did and my own experience, this is where this is all the ideas that come from, and mostly the ideas actually how I felt myself, that time.
mm,
And it's a very, very dark place to be in,
mm,
very dark place, and only that feeling. It's really, and sometimes I found as well, it's really hard to explain to the other person who
mm.
hasn't been through it, or in a different pain or feeling. So it's really hard to find that person as well who actually understand you as well. So all that putting together, find my ideas, inspiring, resources with this.
I love the fact, one of the things I love everything you've mentioned so far, yeah. One of the things I could hold on to, particularly in your response to this, particular question is writing from the place of empathy. And I think that's the most greatest, you know, source of putting yourself in the shoes of others and be able to draw from their pain and craft beautiful words of hope out of the pains of others. I have, in time past, some of the works I've authored in the past many years ago, written from the place of empathy. Most of the things I wrote in the poems of Kohame are written from the place of empathy, of me sitting down, observing the pain of the mother whose child has gone missing for several years. And I imagine how could that even be? You can imagine the kind of pains and penuries and how agony she would have to go through. And I was like, oh, I would love to sit down, think once again, and write from the place of empathy and put myself in the shoe of Vanessa, the mother of this missing son, and put myself in the shoe of her family members, put myself in the shoe of the younger brother and sister, and craft, heart wrenching yet hopeful messages out of it. So I could relate where you said the place of empathy. It's a very great thing, and it's one of the moving factor. It's just like you passing on the roadside. I could remember some years ago when I was driving by the roadside, I sight a young boy on the street, in so many racks and, begging the passers-by for some alms me. And I could imagine, I was like, under this scourging sun, I can imagine what pain this young boy is going through. Under this scourging sun, I can imagine. So I was so put. Well, I gave some things, yeah, but I was so put to write a poem of that experience, of the pain of the lonely one, the pain of the homeless person, the pain of perhaps an orphan or someone doesn't have anyone to cater for them. That shows empathy. You've been able to like look at them and empathize with them. And look into that, apply sympathy and empathy and write something out of it. I love your take on that. That's very wholesome and quite great to mention. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. And I'd also like to ask you, as a published author, what sort of advice do you offer other writers who are still struggling with writing and publishing a book? What do you advise people in this category?
I would advise them to the where and how you want to distribute and publish your book. So, my book is, obviously the main one is Amazon and the Baines and the Nobles, and it could be other ones as well.
Mm,
Consider if you want to consider also the points that if you want your book to go into libraries and bookshelves,
mm,
social media platforms, building that author platforms, website, make a website, connect with people. Also, I also would say that, like myself, I did a book launch as well,
oh,
generating exciting buzzing, around to release your book as well.
mm,
It could be that you could do a book launch online or in person event as well. Also, monitoring yourselves, reviews, keep an eye on yourselves and gathering reviews as well. And that can be a valuable, in the future, marketing, improve your writing as well. Continue writing as well, I would say as well, on new projects as well, and learn to adapt to meet the changing of the market as well, and stay persistent as well.
mm,
Journey can be a long and challenging. Persistent is the key. Keep writing, learning, refining your skills as an author.
mm.
Celebrate your achievements. Publishing a book is a great achievement, and you should be proud of yourself. Hard
Absolutely.
work, your hard work and dedication, embrace that journey, learn
Mm,
from your experience,
yeah,
continue sharing your stories with the world.
yeah.
Your book has potentials to inspire and make a lasting impact, and
Wow.
the journey is worth taking. Happy writing and publishing.
Wow. That's a beautiful advice you've got in there. That's a lot. I love the sound of it. And I'm hoping that viewers, even including myself, would love to utilize it. I would like you to read a short section of your book to the audience. It could be a short line, page, or paragraph. But before we go into that, you may want to prepare something to read. Before we go into that, I'd like to ask you, are there any challenges you've encountered in the process of writing the book and also ever since it got published?
The only changes I find since the book has been published
Yeah.
is actually marketed it myself.
Mm.
Yeah, marketing. So I'm not really. It's my first time marketing and first book as well. So for me, it's a new thing as well. And and I'm so proud of it as well. So I'm just doing everything I can myself to on platforms I can, and also I'm trying to get so many events locally and in a bit far end from my area where I live, where I
Mm.
can actually attend in person, where I can actually sign and sell books as well, and talk about books in person with people as well. So I'm also going to loads of events as well, much as possible I can, and also just carry on, being on media more. And these days it's all technology, though, isn't it? People on the media, Instagram and Facebooks and other Lincolns and WhatsApp groups as well. So basically
Yeah.
just talking to community to really put my book out. I carry my book everywhere I go though. Everywhere I go, my journey, I
Mm.
carry two, three books with me, my business card as well. Just talking to random people about, oh, I've done a
Yeah.
book. I read a bit. This is where the book is, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah.
I love that. It's a very great technique. I love that. Word of mouth, particularly. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And I'd like you to read a short section of your book to the audience. It could be a short line, a short page, and even a short paragraph.
Yes. So my aim is inspire to you, embrace change, welcome the growth, and never stop yearning to improvement. I encourage you to explore the new realms of yourself and discover the beauty within that other people and the world are waiting for. I want this book to be a powerful beacon of hope, reminding you all that even in the darkest time, there is always light.
Mm.
Always remember you all matter and you all bring to this world things that no one else can. Dare to dream, and I encourage you to pursue your dreams and make a difference. May you find the courage, joy, and love you need from the ideas contained within these pages to brave the storm of life and come out stronger.
Wow. I love that. That was powerful. Never stop yearning to improvement. I love the sound of it. And just in case we have some viewers who are currently watching the interview, I would love to get a copy of the book. On what platform are they available on for purchase?
Yes, so this book is on Amazon. So it's all across the UK and across the wide world as well.
Wow.
It's on hard copy like this and it's on Kindle as well. So all the money I'm raising from the book is going to the mental health charities.
Wow.
And yeah, so this book is actually for every single person. In the book, it's got my personal details in there. So anybody who wants to reach out, please do reach out, even to say hello, give me your feedback, your thoughts about the book. When everybody buys this book, please kindly leave a review on Amazon so the next person actually supports the other person. Everybody likes to read reviews before they purchase anything. Yeah, but this book is actually in English at the moment. I'm in the process, how we are talking, is coming out into the Punjabi version as well. So as we are talking at the moment, it's in the process of another book like this, but in Punjabi. So in the
Wow.
Punjabi people who doesn't know how to read English, they can actually get the other book when it's come out soon in Punjabi, so everybody could connect with the book. So this is why I wrote this book as a self-help book for every single person in walks of life. Please do reach out for yourself and anybody else you know who's going through this time of loneliness. Please do speak about the book and let them know this is book and yeah.
To link in the description part of this interview where interested viewers can get a copy of Sukhvinder Cool book directly on Amazon and Barnes& and Nobles on our website and also on other platform. I also left a link to our social media pages for possible followings. So thank you so much, Sukhvinder, for accepting the invitation to be featured in P English Literature. I must say it's more than awesome, very great and quite lovely having this conversation with you around you. There is hope at the end of the tunnel of loneliness. Quite great, quite amazing, quite wholesome, quite inspiring, quite educative, quite uplifting. I love it thoroughly. And thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me. Take care. Thank you very much, viewers.
Yeah, it's my pleasure as well.